Well everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the 2014 Mac Mini and see how this particular Mac holds up in 2024. So it's been 10 years old now, right? It's been 10 years since this Mac came out. And here's the thing, right? I've been trying to make this video for like a year now, and for some reason I keep forgetting, but I finally was able to get my hands on this Mac Mini. And here's the thing, this particular Mac, I think for the most part, is still an interesting, decent Mac for somebody who's on an ultra extreme budget. But for the average person, I would highly recommend avoiding buying a Mac like this, because it is severely older. It's going to be outdated. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to buy. So you are much better off purchasing a device that is still kind of supported with software. So I'll go and leave some Macs link down in the description that I would highly recommend more so than this thing. So you can get those from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of the Mac Mini, these types of Macs I think have shared the same type of design for a long period of time for the most part. I like the way these Macs look. I think they've always looked and performed very, very well, and they still feel fairly expensive. So on the front side, you're not really just getting anything. You're getting like this LED indicator. On the top, you're getting an Apple logo. On the sides, not much, but on the back side, you're getting a lot of different things here. So you're getting your power button on the back side. You're getting your AC adapter. You're getting a Ethernet port, which is really cool to have inside of one of these systems. You're getting your HDMI port as well. 2 Thunderbolt 2 ports, 4 USB 3 ports, a headphone jack, another audio in port, and an SD card slot. Just those things right there in and of itself, that's a massive amount of I/O to have inside of a device like this. Like that is a ton of, power. That's a ton of, capability to have. And honestly, even if you didn't want to buy this thing anymore to use, like I probably wouldn't recommend using this thing. Just from the sheer port selection, you could probably do a lot of data management within this particular machine. And there is still a lot of capability to have inside of like a cheap 2014 Mac Mini, just because you have those ports. Like that in and of itself is a very big thing to keep in mind there. So personally for me, I think that is a very big thing to keep in mind with this particular machine. Beyond that though, there's not really anything else like super crazy going on. Like it is kind of what you see is what you get. And there's a lot of reasons why I probably would not recommend buying this Mac, like I already mentioned. But I would probably say from that particular perspective, it is actually kind of interesting. This type of machine is giving you that type of capability in and of itself. So from that side, I would say definitely gets a thumbs up for me from that type of capability for sure. Now on top of that, another big thing to keep in mind here too is the fact that within these particular devices, like when you're looking at something like the 2014 Mac Mini, this is a device that for the most part, it's not the most powerful thing anymore. And the problem that you're going to be kind of getting is that it's already kind of done getting software support. So that is somewhat the problem that you're going to be getting, is because this thing isn't really going to be lasting that long when it comes down to software. So once again, I would hate for you to go and buy a machine like this if it's already going to be outdated with software. And that is pretty much what's going to be happening here. This type of device is already going to be kind of outdated with software, and that is kind of the problem. So once again, I would hate for you to go and buy this thing if it's already done. And that's kind of exactly what's going on here. From a performance side, it's really not that bad though. Like you're going to be getting I don't want to say decent because that can mean a lot of things, but for a 2014 machine, this thing was pretty okay. So depending on which model you get, it either started at 4 gigabytes, but it was configurable up to 16. Nobody should be buying a 4 gigabyte machine anymore. It should be at least like 8, or hopefully 16. 4 is just insane. So that in and of itself that's a bad model. A lot of these models had fusion drives or hard drives, but there were models that you can configure with SSDs, which would have been much better. So if you got a maxed out, right, 16 gigabyte of RAM, SSD inside, like 2.8 gigahertz, like option of the Mac Mini, that is a okay machine in this day and age. The problem with that machine is that it's already outdated with software, and because it doesn't have really many improvements or many cool things that today's chipsets have, things like the M series of chipsets and all those other things that we talked about previously. There's not even a USB-C port on this thing. Like there's a lot of things going on with this thing that I probably wouldn't recommend going down the road for. So overall, what I'll definitely tell you is I like Macs. I like the Mac Mini. I think these machines are pretty okay for the most part, but these things, it just doesn't make any sense to go ahead and buy. You are much better off buying something that is still supported with software, like I've said before. And this thing just doesn't make a lot of sense to go and buy, in my personal opinion. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.